Hello and welcome. My name is Peter. I'm the sole developer behind Growlery Games, and for the past couple of months, I've been busy getting ready for my first Steam Next Fest, and I've been learning a lot through that process. So I wanted to take this opportunity to share some of that with you. Let's start with the most important part of Steam Next Fest, the actual demo that I'm going to have up for the festival. Now, my demo's been up for a while. I first put it up in early November, and I had a pretty big content update in early to mid January, I forget the exact date, where I introduced the second playable character, the Gunslinger. And so my demo has a pretty large amount of content to it comparatively. It's at least 2 hours of gameplay, I would say, for most players, just in the demo. In the future, I'll probably approach it differently to have a nicer slice where it gets people into the action, players into the action sooner, and doesn't give so much that some players might feel satisfied with just that, just the demo itself, and not end up purchasing the game. I don't think that's too big of a risk, but it is something to consider. The reason I'm happy with it and the reason I made it with so much content was, one, it was a little easier because I could just give the first person portion of the game and then at a good stopping point, just kind of cut it. But also, giving as much content as I did, it was kind of coming back to and harkening on my experience when I was younger. I didn't have money to get new games all the time as a little kid, and so going on websites like download.com and finding demos for of course I'm blanking on the name of the game right now, but Age of Empires. Like playing Age of Empires just over and over again, where they gave you like one level to play, and so that was my thought process on making the demo so large, was that others could, even if they couldn't get the game, they could enjoy the first little portion of it. I might approach it differently, but I thought it was a good sentiment. Going back to Next Fest, the game itself is also under development a little bit at the very beginning of the year. It's mostly done other than Steam achievements, but as Next Fest got closer, I started to focus more and more on the content that's just in the portion that players are going to see in the demo. And so it was a lot of playtesting, trying to find any bugs I could and fix them. Fortunately, there haven't been too many. The one thing that keeps popping up is I have these little key term boxes. They're basically like tooltips. They keep causing me problems in different ways, popping up on top of menus and stuff when they shouldn't. Almost all of that's been fixed. There is one scenario where it still happens, but I think most players won't actually run into it. I am going to fix it, but it is there at the moment. I added simple lighting to build some more atmosphere of, you're in this dark tunnel, and so just giving everything a bit of shadow to it, and then just for visibility, to make it easier for the player, putting some soft point lights around each of the characters, and it's just a circular soft point light, so it's nothing fancy, but it does add to the atmosphere a bit. I also went back and tweaked some animations, improved some animations, added a couple of animations to the two earliest bosses in the game that have some unique moves, which I think really improved that. If one of them, for an example, is the Death Worm. He's one of the first bosses you might encounter, because the bosses alternate, so depending on when you get to the first floor boss, you may or may not have him. But it's first floor boss, so it's probably it's likely the first one the player will see, and he has a move where he burrows underground, and previously he just disappeared. Now there's an actual animation, and so it's communicated far better that he's not just blinking out of existence, he's going under the ground. Watching people play the game, they understood it even without the animation, but now it looks far better, and I don't think there's any confusion now of what's going on. So just doing things like that to elevate the game as much as I could, so that I can present it the best I can over Next Fest, and that portion of it, I think I did fairly well. If you've been watching past videos, I think in the future I'm gonna make my development cycle a bit longer. I do this full time, so it's not just me, right, getting to the end of development when I feel like, oh, the game's done. Like I do have deadlines for myself where I gotta get these things out, and so I think the game's in a good spot. The demo's in a good spot for Next Fest. But in the future, I'm probably going to extend my development cycle from a year to 18 months. And that, I think, will bring with it quite an improvement in quality for the next games. Not that there's anything wrong with Risk and Riches, but that's just something that I've learned through going through this process. So on to the marketing that I've been doing leading up for Next Fest. Over the past couple months, since the beginning of the year roughly, I've been building more of a presence on social media, which is something I should have been doing a long time ago, but at least better than never. I did have a little bit of a presence, right, with a website and this YouTube channel, but the audiences that those attract are different, right? It's people that are interested in the process of the development, not, or in the case of the website, someone who already knows I exist, right? It's not so much people looking for a new game to play. And social media helps broaden that audience a bit. So I've been posting, I'm mostly on Blue Sky, and so I've been posting once a week, or trying to post once a week, because I've been gearing up for for Next Fest. I've missed a couple weeks, but I've been giving that slow drip of exposure on social media, and it's tiny numbers. You can't count on that to really boost the game, especially the type of game I'm playing, where it's not this beautiful thing to look at. It's more about the mechanics of the actual game. So the other thing I've been doing is reaching out directly to streamers. I've emailed over 100 streamers at this point. I'm still emailing more with a key for the full game, in the hopes that they'll do a review or a let's play. The channels I'm reaching out to are they range pretty wide in terms of how big they are, from a few hundred subscribers to tens of millions. But this is a list that I'm curating myself. I'm going through YouTube. I'm finding active channels that cover the type of game that I'm making, right? So either indie variety channels or channels that focus specifically on roguelites and roguelikes. And when I reached out to them, or as I'm reaching out to them, yes, I'm hoping that they might cover me before or during Next Fest. But really, it's about the release. I'm trying to give, at least they have roughly 6 weeks to check out the game, play the game, and do a video on the game, which I was hoping is enough time. The problem is that because I'm reaching out right before Next Fest, and I started doing these last weekend, so this video is going to drop on February 20th, so the weekend before February 20th of 2025 is when I started reaching out, and there's a lot of people reaching out right now, developers reaching out to streamers to cover their stuff because they're trying to get coverage for Next Fest. And while, yes, that would be nice, that's not like my 100% goal of reaching out to them. And so in the future, a week ahead of Next Fest is not a great time to be starting to reach out. I don't know a exact date of like when's the best time, but based on this experience for my next game, specifically for trying to build towards Next Fest, I think I'm gonna have to start sending stuff out at least a month ahead of Next Fest to try and beat the traffic of stuff coming in. I did pay for one sponsored video. I like to be transparent on here, but I can't disclose the amount for that. But I did pay for a sponsorship, and what I can say is that it did significantly boost my daily wish list. It's only been a couple days since the video came out as I'm recording this, and I am seeing a significant boost in my daily wish list increase. Now, how long is that going to last? I don't know. From day 1 to day 2, I'm already seeing it taper off. Will it be worth it in the end? Right now, I think that if it was just a sponsorship, right? If I just sponsored a video at a random time in the year just to do it, I think my answer would be no. For this game, based off of the traction it's getting, I don't think that I would necessarily recover the money I spent. But I'm also advertising on Reddit and Facebook for 2 weeks, this week and next week. So the week before Next Fest and the week of Next Fest. And I'm only doing $5 a day. So it's going to be probably 150-ish dollars combined for the advertising on both platforms for the 2 weeks. The hope is that between the sponsored video and the ads, that it will help kind of increase the excitement both within Steam and the Steam algorithm and outside of Steam, right? People are seeing it hopefully multiple times and are like, hey, yeah, let me check out this game. So it's driving more traffic to my Steam page. It is increasing wish lists, and hopefully that will kind of give me a boost leading into Next Fest and throughout Next Fest. Is it going to pay off? I don't know. We'll see. With this being my first game, a lot of this is also just kind of experimentation. I'm not spending more money than I can't afford. If this game, I think that the game will at the very least break even still, which is small numbers, right? I'll do a breakdown both for my next fest wish list numbers, right? Heading into Next Fest, what I got. I'll do that. I'm not promising a date because I do want to do at least one more actual devlog type video on the game of more focused on design and mechanics before the game releases. So no promise on a date, but I will definitely do a breakdown on my Next Fest numbers in terms of wish lists, and then after the game comes out, I'll do a breakdown at some point, probably like a couple months afterwards, so I can capture the first month of how the game itself did for the first month for revenue and conversion and stuff like that. But refocusing on Next Fest, I did do the sponsorship and I did do the paid ads with the hope that those will boost my performance in Next Fest. So if I were gonna do it another time, I don't know that it would be worth it, but I think in terms of for a for science experiment, this is the right time to do it, and we'll see if it pays off. I also applied to a few festivals, which is something again that I should have been doing more of earlier in the development cycle. Now, obviously, Next Fest itself is a festival, but one of the festivals I'm hoping will kind of have an indirect effect with Next Fest, and I'll explain a little bit here. But one of the festivals I applied to is before my game launches. The other two are going to be post-launch. But the one that's before my game launches happens right after Next Fest. And it's going to have Steam featuring. And so my hope is, and we'll see if it works out, but my hope is whatever traction I start to build during Next Fest, right? Because the Next Fest hopefully I'm gonna see a bit of a spike compared to what my baseline of wishlist activity is, and then it's gonna start to taper off. And this is my first time, doing Next Fest, so I don't know how steep it is, right? Does it drop off basically the day Next Fest ends? Is it a slow taper for the couple weeks after Next Fest? We'll see, and that also kind of varies, right, based on the game and the other activities that studios are doing for marketing. But that's why this festival right after Next Fest, I'm hoping is going to help, because the spike that I hopefully will get or should get during Next Fest, I'm hoping that this other festival that's going to happen right after is going to lengthen that tail, and so I'll end up getting more wish lists overall from Next Fest, because this festival is happening after on Steam, and so that tail is going to be more gradual and last a bit longer, and maybe even during the festival that I'm on, which, to help promote that, it's the Days of Ramadan festival on Steam, and if you're a fellow developer, there is still time to apply to it. It's open to anybody. It's just to celebrate Ramadan, which is this year February 28th to March 29th. I don't know actually the exact dates of the Days of Ramadan festival, because Next Fest, technically, right, the end of Next Fest is during that time frame. There's the spring sale for Steam also during that time frame. So I'm not sure the exact start and end dates of when they'll have Steam featuring, but since it's going to happen so soon after Next Fest, that it's gonna extend that tail coming out of Next Fest, and maybe even prop it up a bit with its own little spike. So that's why I wanted to mention the festivals. That this festival timing is pretty good, and it's just an opportunity, right? Not every Next Fest is gonna have a festival right after it. Although there are some other Steam festivals, not festivals so much, but like I guess we'll call them festivals, but I forget which one exactly it is, because it's not one that I can enter into, but Steam does featuring for like cozy games or zombie games. There are a couple of those happening as well, so if you're in an opportunity where you can take advantage of both, I would definitely recommend it. There's no downside, and so we'll see if there's how much of an upside there potentially is after all this happens. And that's another reason why I won't do a post Next Fest video for a bit, because we'll see what the results are, not only of Next Fest, but also if this other festival helped with extending that tail out. Before we wrap things up here, I do want to do something I'm a bit uncomfortable with. I'm not really into birthdays, but if you have nothing to say in the comments, because I need to try and encourage some more engagement on these videos, go ahead and say happy birthday to me. February 20th, which is the day this video is going to come out, also happens to be my birthday. And for my birthday, if you could, introduce Risk and Riches to one other friend that you think would be interested. And they don't have to wait for Next Fest. The demo is up now, as I said previously. But that's what I've been up to for the last 6 weeks or so. Making sure the demo was in as solid of a state as I could get it ahead of Netflix. Why do I say Netflix? Ahead of Next Fest. And getting the full game up on Steam also, so that I could share keys with streamers, both for Next Fest and the full release of the game, and just ramping up marketing to build some excitement heading into Next Fest and heading towards the release, which is March 27th. I will do a kind of summary video of the numbers from Next Fest, as I said, but I'm not promising exact dates because I do want to get that one more traditional devlog video before the release of the game. That's what I got for this one. Again, I'm Peter, the solo developer behind Growler Games. I try and upload at least 1 or 2 videos a month, documenting my development of my studio and the current project I'm working on, which is Risk and Riches, demo up now. If you'd like to join me on this journey, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.